Hello, welcome to Made to Heal with Angela Brown. So, today I am going to talk about truth and dare, and it reminded me of Truth or Dare. And I want to know, did you guys play that as kids? But on a serious note, that's what I do want to talk about is truth and dare. But before I get into that, check out the link in the comments below because it's going to have my book called You Are Made to Heal Spiritually, Emotionally, Mentally, and Physically. I was stuck for 30 plus years in anger, resentment, childhood trauma, abuses, and things that I didn't know how to get past. I have dealt with depression and suicidal thoughts and postpartum depression, which is depression on steroids. If you're a woman that have had children, then and you've suffered with that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not a fun place to be in. So, I just was stuck for 30 plus years and I hit rock bottom, got my last suicidal thought in the fall of 2015, and I called on our Savior Jesus Christ. And it took me several times calling on his name, but I literally felt him pull me out of this deep, deep state of being stuck and stagnant for 30 plus years. And he put me on this course. He put the right people, he put the right books, he put the right, courses and things, ideas that I never knew were right there the whole time. And I've been able to heal spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I don't have the answers to everything. And maybe everything that I did doesn't work for everybody else. But I know for me, I have not suffered from suicidal thoughts or depression for going on 10 years. And that is miraculous. And I wrote this book with all adults and teens in mind because this depression started before I was even a teen. It started, you know, well into that. And it lasted until my late 30s. And so I'm here to share my journey of healing. And I do talk about things of why things were, but and I kind of set the stage of what I was dealing with so that hopefully it could relate with other people. But the main focus on are is that I put in the book is the tools that I have used, the tools and techniques that I use every day. I don't do everything every day. It's impossible. But I have the tools when I'm beating myself up. I have the tools of, hey, let's change that stinking thinking because that's not true. I have the tools to help me to realign, and it's all about connection with God, connection with ourselves and others. And I do have the saying to know oneself. It's important to get to know yourself because when you know and truly love yourself, you know and love God, and that is important. So anyway, I have this passion to help other people spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. So check that out. So, truth and dare. Truth and dare. You know what? We live in such a day and age where there is so much out there. There is so much in the social aspect, social media platforms, and entertainment industry, just everywhere. Billboards, magazines, just everything. We are flooded with so much information. Is it all true? Absolutely not. Are there truths in there? Yeah, absolutely. So there are truths everywhere, and it's important that we as Christians, that we are always seeking truth, to seek truth. And once we seek and find that truth, once you get truth that is given to you here and here, right? When you hear something, it just hits home and you know it to be in your heart of hearts, in every fiber of your being. You feel like that is true. That resonates with me. Truth is truth. And once we get that truth, what do we do with it? Are we ashamed of it? Do we just want to keep to ourselves and do our own little thing? Or do we want to share that truth? Most people that are Christians, they want to share the light of Christ. They want to share that, hey, you know what? God and Christ, they are real. They are just as real as you and I, and they are involved with your lives, and they are there. They are in us. They are, below us, above us, around us, everywhere, through us. They are in us. And so once we know that, do we keep it to ourselves? Because the majority of maybe we live in this community and most of them aren't Christian. Let's say you're not, there's not very many Christians in your community. And, are you just going to be shy about the fact that you're different with your beliefs? And so you just kind of keep it to yourself and do your thing. Or are you going to share that light of Christ? Are you going to get out there and show them what, not by, not by telling people, hey, you got to be a Christian. Hey, you got to do this. Hey, it's more like, are you living your life? Are you sharing your light? And what are you doing with that truth? So with the truth, it takes bravery, truth and dare. You hear the truth and you hear it and you start living it and you want to be that. And then dare to be different, dare to step out of the box. There's this box that society has put us in. There's this box that you all got to go out and do this. You got to do this for your health. You got to do this for your spirituality. You've got to do this to have a better mindset. You've got to. And we hear so many voices, and Satan is the father of lies and confusion, and he is the father of misery. He wants everybody to be miserable. So sometimes there's a little bit of truth and then tied into it, and then it's wrapped up with, a lot of cunning and trickery up his sleeve. And so are you falling trap into the cunningness of the devil? In all aspects, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, it's so important that we see the counterfeits, right? And so once we know truth, what are we doing with that truth? Are we going to be daring and bold to go forward, to do what we know we've got to do? I've made some major lifestyle changes within the last couple months, and it's not easy. I'm the only one in my household that's doing it. And it hasn't been easy for me. And it hasn't been easy for them. Like, I just, decided all of a sudden, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And, so it takes, once I know something to be true for myself, and you know what? Truth is truth. That's what I say. Truth is true. And sometimes, different things resonate with different people. So that truth, a part of that truth is living into once we get truth and receive it, it's a part of us. It's who we are. It's how we be our authentic selves. We don't have to fit into this mold. Sort of like, I'm reminded of the instance where I go shopping with some friends and I show up at a friend's house and she looks me up and down and she was like, oh, you're not going like that, are you? And I'm like, yeah, why, what's wrong? And she's like, oh, no. Come to my closet. Go to her closet. And she throws out some outfits and says, hey, try these all on. Well, I obliged her and I wore something that I was completely uncomfortable in. I don't like high heels. I don't like sparkle and shimmer, and I just don't. That's not me. And so, I had a great time, but I was miserable at the same time because I'm like, I'm not myself. This is not me. And so from that moment on, and that was, this experience probably happened 15 years ago. And so from that moment on, I decided I am not going to feel like I am somebody else. I'm not going to fit into somebody else's mold because that's what they think I should do. And actually I didn't decide right then and there to do that. It took a process, but once I hit rock bottom and I discovered whose I was and who I am, like to a T, and I really, really learned how to develop a good relationship with God. And, when you develop that relationship with God, you gain confidence. And when I gained confidence, I got that confidence of who I was, then I didn't worry about what I did, like what I did as a person. I didn't worry about, well, what is so-and-so going to think of me? Maybe, I didn't wear makeup today. What is so-and-so going to think of me? Or, I'm going out and about in public. Like, there used to be a day in my life where you wouldn't catch me without makeup because, oh my gosh, you don't go anywhere without your makeup. And then I've just evolved into this person to where I'm like, that's not me. And I don't, why am I, showing up and conforming to society's ideals of what a woman needs to be and look like and dress like and act like to be a woman. And it's so important that when we find that truth, when we find our truth is different than other people's truth, right? Our truth is what we have this compass. I know we all have this compass that God has put in us. He's put these seeds into our heart. It's part of our mission. It's part of our purpose. And he has put all these truths into each one of us. And when we fall in line with that, when we hear truths and they resonate with us, and we start to act on these truths, and it just feels right, and it is working for us, then we can't be something else. And it's so important that once we get those truths, that we dare to step into who we truly are. Dare to be you. Dare to be different. Dare to not have to conform all the time. Not that I'm saying, sometimes, but it's, we have this compass within us, and we have this guidance available to all of us. Living a God-led life is going to get you to your truth. And you know what? God doesn't give us everything we need all at once. He's not going to be like, hey, this is all your truth. There you go. Like, good luck with that. No, he gives us line upon line, precept upon precept, and here a little, there a little, just little bits and pieces at a time. And we've got to be ready for it, right? We have to have our mind prepared for it, because sometimes I've gotten some truths, but I wasn't prepared for it. And so I kind of didn't do anything with it and was kind of rude about some certain things. And it's funny, as we evolve, it's like, oh, now that I'm 20 years older than that person, then I get it. I understand. That makes sense. So it's so important that once we realize what our truth is, who we are and whose we are, to dare to be the one to stand out, to dare to be the one that stands for right, to dare to do good, dare to step out of this, and maybe it's your circle of friends. Maybe your circle of friends don't connect with the divine, or they're not wanting to heal emotionally, or they don't want to clean up their thoughts, or they don't want to clean up their temple, and they don't want to treat it as a sacred vessel. So it's important to dare to step out of the conformity. We have been conned. Society has been conned in a lot of ways, and I won't get into it, but our health is at stake. And not only is our health at stake physically, but when we're feeling crappy and we have physical pain, our spiritual health is at stake, and so is our mental and emotional. And because they all go together, to feel like we have a balanced life. So it's just so important to stick to that truth. Dare to be you, dare to stand out, dare to be the odd man out. It's okay, because when you're sticking to your truth and living it, then you know that you are right with God. You feel right. You're doing what is part of your mission and your purpose. So it's that simple. Dare to stand out. Dare to, whatever it is, whether it's with your religious beliefs and you're in a crowd and no one around is behaving the way that you know to be right, and you standing aside and going, no, I won't do that. It takes bravery. It takes courage. And so that's why I say truth and dare. Learn the truth and dare to live it. Learn that truth. Each time a piece of nugget of truth comes to you and hits you as, yeah, that is truth. That, to me, that is truth. And once you get that truth, dare to live it. Dare to be it. There's one part of the piece of hearing it and going, yeah, that's true. But the action part is the most important. What are we going to do with that truth when you hear truth? What are you going to do? We all have a choice. We all get this choice. And our choices affect us on all levels. And the tiny little list of choices we make each day, they build and build and build, and they are what make our character strong. And, you know, relying on God and Christ and having that God-led life will keep us strong. So those are my thoughts about truth and dare. So remember, not truth or dare. Let's do truth and dare and be amazing human beings that this world needs. So God bless. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Share it with others. It is my mission and purpose to help others in their healing journey. So until next time, bye.